Fred, I guess in a nutshell, what happened there in that second half? It seemed like late that Northern Iowa kind of had more of a sense of what we was doing in crunch time and were able to hit those shots late.
Well, first of all, congratulations to Northern Iowa. They played an excellent basketball game today. We stopped communicating out there. Things got tough for us, and we just stopped talking. We're pretty good when things are going well. We saw that in the first half. We get up 10 on them. Guys are flying around, they're chest bumping each other. We're playing with a swagger, and then they make a run on us. We make a big defensive mistake. We talked about staying solid. We jump out in the passing lane, and they hit a 3 to cut it to 7, and then they go on a run, and that's when we put our heads down. You got to stay solid. You got to stay even in this game of basketball. You can't be front runners. I thought tonight we were front runners.
UNI's defense, everybody talks about it, but they did a great job at the three-point line, particularly after Chris got off to the hot start. Can you talk about what they do, because it's effective year in and year out, it seems?
Yeah, they make you work for everything you get. Ben does a terrific job with those kids as far as making it tough on them. They played the exact game that they had to coming in here, playing on the road, and they did a great job executing that plan. We got to find a way. When you get up 10 on that team, that's a pretty big margin against them. And then, like I said, we started making a few mistakes and let them right back in. That's when you got to expand it. That's when you got to take that lead from 10 and push it up to 20. And it's disappointing that we didn't have that tonight.
It seemed like Chris picked up right where he left off. Chris Babb, right where he left off in South Bonneville. What did they do after those first 3 minutes of the game?
Well, they really got into him. They really took away his 3. We didn't do a great job screening for him after that as well. He came out, banked in his first one. That's usually a pretty good sign as a shooter. He banked one in. That's a great sign. And then, James does it in the second half. But, it's something for us. It's got to be a concerted effort to continue to go get the hot man. We ran plays for him. We just couldn't shake him, couldn't get him open. And then we did a decent job in the second half establishing the paint. It was lack of communication on defense. They come out and they shoot 50% in the second half, and you can't do that on your home court. You got to make it tough on them, and we didn't do that tonight.
It looked like they effectively ran the multi-screen ball movement offense. Was that something you anticipated they were going to do coming in?
Yeah, and again, if you communicate, they ran a lot of that in the first part of the game, and would jump out in a big lead, and we defended great. And then, as the game wore on, like I said, when things got tough for us, we put our heads down tonight. And good basketball teams don't do that. Good basketball teams play the same way, whether it's going great or whether it's going poor on the basketball floor. And right now we struggle with that. That's what I talked about early with this group, is how do we handle adversity. And right now we don't handle adversity well. We didn't handle it well against Drake. We didn't handle it well tonight. You have to find a way to play through the good and the bad when you're a basketball player. And we'll get it. We'll get there.
Matt Morrison had no stats coming in basically, and tonight he kind of the dagger. Can you just talk about him?
Yeah, him and Sonnen were huge for those guys off the bench. Again, it was just lack of communication, lack of focus, I guess you can say, as far as those guys coming off and getting shots, getting open shots after they hit a couple. And then that's when you got to find a way, dig in deep, and go out and get stops. Like I said, Randy, they shoot 50% in that second half. Since you get a little bit of a deficit, it's tough to fight back. And then we get ahead, get a little bit of a lead, and they make a couple baskets, put our heads down again.
You're trying to build a program here, and it seems like at UNI, whoever they bring in, automatically they just find a way to kind of integrate them into their system, kind of believe in it. How tough is it to kind of build that identity here, especially with bringing in all the new guys that you have this year?
I think the big thing is getting them to go out and just play consistent. Play consistent basketball. The guys we brought in here, I'm confident. I do have confidence in our players. They got to have confidence in themselves. That's the big thing. When those guys go out on the floor, I'll say it again. I sound like a broken record here, but through the good and the bad, you got to go out there and compete.
Last question for Coach.
Is that something you have to instill in them? Is to realize how good they still are, even when you and I hit the shots in a row where something bad pops up?
Yeah, you come over and you see heads down. It's pretty discouraging to see that. You gotta find a way, and we'll get back at it in practice tomorrow. We've got 2 days to prepare for Michigan. It's gonna be a very tough game for us.
All right, Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks, Doug.